The real power of our GIS software is in its capability to perform spatial analysis and in the geoprocessing tools that do all that hard work for you. Up until this point in the course, we spent a lot of time looking at the basics of the software, the history of GIS, basics of the user interface, and all the different elements of the ArcGIS platform. But now we're really going to start using GIS for probably the reasons you took this course, to help you understand the spatial patterns in your data and the trends in your data. The results from these analyses are ideally going to help you support your decision-making or just provide you with more information about your study area or your project. We'll start by looking at spatial analysis. So when I'm talking about spatial analysis, we are looking at location information, attribute information, and all the relationships within your spatial data through different geoprocessing tools. All these things together help us gain that insight about our data and help you solve problems, answer questions, or influence decision-making. There's a whole series of spatial analyses categories that you're going to look at in this module. Most GIS projects will fit under one of these. I do encourage you that when you're looking through these spatial analyses in the lecture, that you take time to think about what you're thinking about doing for your own final project. Where does your project fit in? What category does it fall under? Do one of these categories maybe inspire an idea for a final project? Also this week, we are looking at our most common geoprocessing tools, or most frequently used. In the lecture and in the exercises, you will get a great overview of the different categories of geoprocessing tools that help support our analysis. So we'll look at 3 of them. We'll look at data extraction, overlay, and proximity tools. Within those 3 categories, we'll look at the 5 most commonly used geoprocessing tools and their applications. And you will definitely get plenty of hands-on time with these tools in this module's exercises. The last thing we look at in this module is Model Builder. Now, Model Builder is a great tool in the ArcGIS suite of software. It allows you to construct visual workflows or flowcharts of where you link together all your different geoprocessing tools. So you can see your step 1, your step 2, and your step 3 as you work through your analyses. Model Builder is a great way to start yourself on the path toward automating your methodology. But it gives you that visual representation of your tools, and it's a great way to keep track of what you want to do, what you have done, and what you want to do with your data in the future. So those of you that are visual learners will probably really like Model Builder. While you're working on these exercises, you are going to find out pretty quickly that solving any GIS question or completing any GIS project is not just open one tool, run it, and you get your answers. You are going to spend probably the majority of your time working on any GIS project doing data preparation. So what is data preparation? Some people will call it data cleaning, but it's really getting your data ready and into the shape that you need to complete the question you're asking. So let's say we wanted to think about home ownership rates in San Diego County, but we only have data that's home ownership rates for the entire state of California, and it's broken down into counties or into zip codes. How do we break it down to just the zip codes or the county of San Diego? What about if you had 100 years of wildfire data, but you just wanted the 2010 data? How do you reduce that down? How do you extract that information from that larger data set? What if there's a misspelling? What if someone was having a bad day, and when they were classifying land uses, they spelt residential 2 different ways? How do you fix that? How do you go from having 2 residential classes to 1 with the proper spelling, hopefully? What if in that same list you wanted to reduce the number of land use classes that you had, and you want it to just be open space or developed land? And you've got all 15 different categories of residential, industrial, commercial, public use. How would you reduce that down? How would you combine all those classes together to simplify it into open space or developed lands? So the lectures and exercises this week in this module will help you identify some of those tools and methods to go through that data cleaning process. It will also help you start thinking about your analysis for your final project. anything that you can't figure out how to answer this week with the tools you learned this week or in this module, we'll definitely be looking at them in future modules. So don't worry. Ready to get started with your spatial analysis? Let's go ahead and dive in.